Mr. Demi.
Hello, Mr. Gaven. What's going on?
Mate, it looks quite sunny there today. I couldn't believe it when I saw over the weekend it was snowing.
It's a little bit cloudy today, what I say.
We've got more rain. We've got more rain, so you'll be glad. We've got more rain here in Australia, so I look even more like a pasty Englishman. So you will be happy about that. Guys, welcome. Welcome to the show. Let's keep it professional, mate. No insults, please, until at least 20 minutes in. So if you're joining us, I know, let's be serious a little bit. We're talking about cryptos, mate. So if you're joining us on Facebook, welcome. If you're joining us live on YouTube, welcome. If you're joining us live on Share Vision, hello and welcome. Just want to take a quick opportunity to thank everybody and welcome everybody that took advantage of our crazy Black Friday offers. Welcome to the LTI family. Mr. Demi, what did you purchase during Black Friday, if anything?
Do you know what? No, mostly educational stuff, if I'm being honest. Well, TradingView, for example.
Same. It was a good deal. It was a good deal.
Pretty much educational. I don't think I ordered contact lenses for 8% off as well. But it was such a great deal. 8%, yeah. So I thought I had to do it. I had to rush to my computer. So yeah, that's it. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of just rushing out and buying a whole load of stuff to clog my house up.
Yeah.
So,
but being strategic at the same time, being strategic and waiting for that time to pounce though is quite satisfying as well. What did you say, mate?
No, I was just going to say, did you buy your lady boots from there then?
Before we came on air, it's cold. Well, it's not cold, but I just like wearing it. I've got.
Yeah, tell them what you're wearing.
Maybe I've got a pair of. Let's not go too seriously. They're like Ugg boots, basically. And I was walking around before we came on.
And you're wearing ladies' Ugg boots.
The funny thing was, he goes, "Are you and your missus the same size feet?" Now, ladies. Gents, you know where I'm going with this, but ladies, obviously you do too. And if your man or your partner is the same size shoe as you, then okay, that's all I'm going to say. I realize I'm going down treacherous territory here, so I'm going to abort that one and take the ejection seat.
I recommend that you put a stop loss on that one.
Before we offend anyone. So look, let's check in with the comments. Kevin has got a new photo, a Shelby GT 500. Is that the one from Gone in 60 Seconds? That was a great movie. Nicolas Cage. What has happened to him? I do not know. Raj is here as well. Do you remember when we had Al Pacino, mate? He came in once and he's never been seen since. We've got Vinny 515. Afternoon, evening, gents. I'm guessing you must be over this side of the world somewhere. And we've got Slav again, who was first on the comment. Slav, you've only got a few more weeks, mate, and you have gone pretty much the whole year unbeaten. No pressure, but let's see if we can knock him off top spot at least once before the end of the year. So, look, let's jump into it because we've got quite a few things to cover. So, as per usual, at the start of the show, give us your breakdown of the markets from an investor, from a trader point of view, just where you're seeing the overall crypto markets. And then obviously we're going to jump in. We're going to try and do 2 charts today, guys. We'll get in and out. We'll give you loads of value. And then we'll let you be on your merry way. So with that being said, where are you with regards to the overall market with cryptos in investing, whether it's in trading, news, et cetera, where are your kind of thoughts on things?
Yeah, I mean, the markets obviously have pulled back, as people have been seeing, and it's something we've been kind of speaking about, the possibility of it happening, for the last few weeks now. So I don't think any of us have been that surprised by the pullback. It's not that dramatic, is it? It's just a pullback. It also depends on your perspective. For many people, this is an opportunity to maybe buy at prices that they couldn't buy, a few weeks ago, or that they deemed were too expensive. So, and if you are, already, you've already completely put all your money into the market that you're willing to risk, then you don't need to do anything. You just need to kind of be calm and let the market do its thing. My viewpoint is that, is it a question of like, are we going into a bear market, or is the bull market going to continue? For me, it's not even a question right now. I think that the market is going to ultimately go higher. I think now it's just an opportunity to potentially, we could have one more dip, and I'll show you in the chart. So, last week, I must say, as you know, Gav, I'm pretty good at picking tops and bottoms in FX, right? Because they're kind of a little bit more predictable. And with crypto, with all the noise and the FOMO and everything else, sometimes like, can you actually predict the exact low of Bitcoin? And we did that, which was quite amazing. I don't think I've ever got it that perfect, if I'm honest.
And if you're ever going to, mate, it's during a 3-day video update during the week. I bet people are going to have Andy Demi withdrawal symptoms this week, aren't they?
Maybe. But like, I'm glad I saw that a lot of people did put that order in. And what was what was interesting as well, it was that close, that tight. We literally caught the bottom. That if you had put the order in Binance, you got filled. If you put the order in FTX, you didn't. So that's an interesting one. So that's how tight it was where the low was. So a good example there is, don't necessarily put it right at that level, just put it slightly higher to be sure. So anybody who put it in FTX, unfortunately, you didn't get filled. But anyway, it's bounced perfectly. And now I think we're in the middle. I think the market is at decision point. And when we go through the charts, I'll show you what I see, and I'll show you the signal that will confirm whether the market is likely to move up right now, or whether we're going to have one more dip. And I'll show you exactly where I think that dip's going to be. So this time, if you didn't take that trade, if we do have one more dip, there's no excuses. If you're on this show, I will tell you my prediction of where I think Bitcoin will next bottom out, so you can take advantage of that. So, but yeah, no, overall, quite happy with the markets. I think they're just taking a breather.
To be fair, it's not going to be if we have another little drop. It's going to be when, at some point, right? It's just whether it's in this cycle that you pick up a good price, or whether it's when we go up and then it has another pullback. I took a couple over the last couple of weeks. I've took a couple of little cheeky trade entries. Just a bit on Luna, made like 8 or 10%. Ethereum, I got in a little bit and made about 5 or 10%. And it's just, you can't help it when you're seeing these great pickup points, right? And it's just like, let's just get in and just test theories and just make a little bit of money on the way. Obviously, I've got my major portfolio. And yeah, there's quite a lot of opportunities all around. And if you're still new and on the fence, I don't know where you've been, guys, and you've had ample opportunity to not just learn from this show for free, but obviously take action and get amazing deals. But we're going to try our best to fill you in. If you have just come to the group, greetings. My name's Gavin, the host. This is our resident professional in-house trader, Mr. Andy Demi. Not only have you got us, but you have got a great tribe here waiting for you. Anthony James is live on YouTube. And I love this from Raj. I'm in a meeting now, but watching you guys secretly shush.
Yeah, she's talking to you, that bitch.
And I can live with that. It's fine. So look, love that. So if you are new to the group, we have got a great tribe here, over 5,000 members strong, and they are all here to see Mr. Demi do his magic. So let's jump into one of the charts.
Yeah, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Let me just do a quick screen share. Excuse the lines.
Here we go. We know when you say that, there's some Banksy style stuff about to come up on our screen. So
yeah, absolutely. So this is the this is what we spoke about. That's what I've kept these lines from our last session. Actually, the last time we spoke, and the idea was, if we can buy at 53,275, you could potentially be looking to take partial profits. Let me bring up my pen here. So the idea was, you can see here, I drew this little line here, and I said, look, that might be an idea to consider taking something around here. My pen's not working for some reason. Hold on. Where's it gone? I've lost it. Hold on, guys. I can't work without my pen. Let's reopen it. Yeah, so the idea was to potentially buy here, and maybe that's going to be the low, maybe it's not. So why not take some profits around here, potentially the easy move back up, or some people would have been a bit more ambitious and taken their profits on this line here. And then maybe leave the rest to run, and that, I think that's a good call, and that's what a lot of people did. A lot of our students did. Now, what about where we are right now? This is the most important bit. So, if you didn't take any of that, now is the time to concentrate. So, clean this up a bit. So, the thing that is still prominent is this line here. So you can see that we have been basically holding absolutely perfectly from here, resistance, 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 resistance. And something quite interesting is happening right now as we speak. The market is, again, it formed that low. This was the D, and it's now rallied. And now we're right back here. Now, you could say right now, this could be a head and shoulders pattern with a very small right shoulder. It could be. The pattern's not really that relevant. I think the most important thing here is the fact that we are attempting, to break this this line. And if that line breaks, and ultimately we are taking out these highs, for me, that's a good signal that the market might be ready to go higher. Now, one little thing that you can check is the volume to see if it's going to be a real break. But essentially, for me, the clue should be if we can close above 59k, so around there. If we kind of find ourselves up here, you're going to start to think, we're going to have potentially at least a good rally. And I'll show you the daily chart as well. Now, one thing you can also do is, sometimes rallies can be short-lived. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the new, it's going to break all-time highs. But I always kind of look at, the kind of the next move up. So for traders, you kind of want to be looking really to target these kind of levels, past support, which comes in about 62, 63k. Look at this level, guys. So for traders, look at the reaction on these levels. So if we can kind of find our way, either something like, ideally you get up here, but even if it kind of just closed above this line and then consolidated, you should be kind of looking for that. That's kind of the next move. So we've got potentially about a 5k move before some significant selling comes in. And this is the next test point right here. If we then get through that, now I think we're going to go break the highs, and I think we're going to go, go hit 80, 85k. So from an investment point of view, it's absolutely fine to be buying here. Now, let me show you the picture of, if this market was to do one more leg down, is it possible? Well, I think it is. It's possible. So we have to be open to that, and you have to be ready with it. So right now, we have an A, B, C, D. So the current Fibonacci is right here, okay? And that is giving us, so this is basically showing us that the market is pulled back between the orange and the red, which is basically this zone here. So according to our Fibonacci, we are looking for that if there's another leg down for Bitcoin to potentially bottom out between 50K and 48K. That's the zone you want to look at. Now, let's go to the daily chart, guys. I'm going to show you the daily chart. Now, the daily chart is very interesting because when you look at the daily chart, yes, we've got this line, but don't worry about this line too much. It's not really an established trend line. In fact, you could probably say, let's see if it's the same. You could probably use this is more of an established line. That's probably where the correct trend line is. That, well, actually, it's interesting, isn't it? That is interesting. The market is held exactly off these 2 points, same angle there. So anyway, that's a bullish sign there. First time I've seen that. So that's a bullish sign. The other thing we want to add in is the volume. But remember, the markets like to trap people as well. So don't think this is definitely going higher. We have got this level here that we need to close above. So let me show you. So this here, guys, if you imagine you're a seller, that is a low point. That is a low point. That is a floor. That when you're below it, it becomes a ceiling. So right now we are literally on that ceiling. If we can close above here, that is a morning star candle formation, and that is very, very bullish. And that I would then expect that we're going to have a really nice push up. And I think, as you can see there, 63, 64 is the next level up, which matches pretty much what we just said on the 4-hour time frame. I think that becomes the next test. So if we can close above here, we go up here. That becomes a test. Do we hold? Do we retrace? And then I think we eventually will probably go find our way up to this next level, which is our Fibs. So we've got 78 to sort of 80 odd there. I think we're getting ready and close for this move, in my opinion. Is it going to go up from here? Is it going to kind of trap and go and spike down into this zone down here? That's possible. Look at the level here, guys. Really nice resistance points. That becomes a really nice zone matching up with the Fibs. In case it does, I would be ready on my leverage positions. On the long-term positions, it absolutely makes sense to be long Bitcoin right now. Even if you did have that dip, for me, this is you should have been buying these, and even here you can still be buying this for that move higher. But in terms of from a trading point of view, 48 to 50,000 is the next zone to target to buy, and that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Mate, we've got just over 3 weeks till Christmas.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to be a happy Bitcoin Christmas? If it got in, and it totally can. In 3 weeks, it could go down to that 48,050 buy zone that you've just highlighted, and then really zoom up for Christmas. And then we'd be like, wow, the last 3 weeks have felt like 3 months, because there'll be a lot of people that can't see that right now, right? That if we ended up around that 80, 85 by Christmas, that's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, absolutely. I think, and it can happen in a week. You may just get the next couple of weeks to the middle of December where we're not doing too much. It's possible. We've got a lot to break through. I'm just having a little look here. So let's go back over here for a second, guys. Let's see if we can spot anything. So if you kind of look in this little retracement here, if you notice we had, look at the sort of, if you just kind of line through that, right? So what are the peak things here? The selling volume, right? There's lots of selling volume, but the buying volume started to pick up here compared to these points here, and then it really, look at that. So when you had this nice rally there, see how again we had a nice bit of buying volume, and look the drop in selling volume. and then it continued. The buying volume was coming in. Now, if you look back over here, that's not the case yet. So one of the things that you can do, and don't do it with a, I don't know if you can do, no, I don't think you can. I think you can put an alert in. So rather than put, so look, you can see here is roughly where the average is. I think there's a way to do, actually, hold on, let me have a look at something on the spot.
Yeah, I can do the crossing down one on like indicators, but I don't know if it does it for volume. I've never tried that one.
No, you can do it. Now, we're just trying to see if there's an average volume bar. No, I don't know what these are. That's fine. I could probably find something. But what you can do, I've done it before. When I was day trading, I used to do the exhaustive volume strategy quite a lot, and it was really, really powerful. So if we do right click, add alert, I think volume, there you go. So volume, you can just say volume crossing 12,300, and then you stick that on. So great. So that should be there now. So what that will do is if volume peaks above 12.5, you'll get an alert. So then you can go and see if it's a green bar or a red bar. And what would be interesting is that can happen mid bar, right? So you could be like, oh, it's halfway through the day. We have a green bar that's already at 12,500, which is about the average. Maybe this is the breakout bar, if that makes sense. And then you could use that as a way to kind of get in a bit earlier. So that's volume is important. Without volume, we're not going to go anywhere. You can see when it starts to look at this, right? Drop in volume, drop in volume, drop in volume there, pick up in volume. Look at that. There's your clue there. And then the market goes up. We haven't seen that yet. Okay, we have not seen that. So that's what you're going to be kind of looking out for. And you can make your alert even higher, guys. You can do it at like 15. But if you do it at, like, say, 12.5, whatever it is, whatever that point is, then you could, you can get in a bit earlier. You can be alerted a bit earlier, so it gives you time to get on your screens. How's that, everybody? Any questions?
That's the Bitcoin price prediction with Andy Demi. Loving that there. Snake Trader, good to have you with us, my friend. Put the moving average on the volume. That's another way of doing it. Yanis, hi guys, how are you? We are good, thank you. Good to have you with us. And Brad is in the house live on YouTube, and he's just put Brad. Drop mic.
Yeah, Brad is just Brad. You can just put Brad, and that's it.
Still get some mention.
Gotta
love it. Gotta love it. So, guys, that was pretty self-explanatory. If it wasn't, remember, you can re-watch these videos, guys. And we'll be posting this up on YouTube. We need some more likes. I've just noticed the like count is so lame for the people in here on the live. Come on, guys. And on YouTube as well.
The low of Bitcoin as well.
Let's get some hearts. Let's get some thumbs. Let's just feel some love. I'm not feeling much love in the room tonight, are you?
No.
Maybe it's because of what I said about some guys have small feet like their missus. I didn't mean to offend you if that is you. I'm sure you have other talents, you have other blessings. But we're not going any further than 3. This is terrible, guys. This is embarrassing.
Let's see if we can get that up to 20 to 30.
At least for the amount of knowledge bombs that are being dropped. Crikey. You guys are getting spoiled, that's for sure. Well, I'll go back to being shush, I suppose. We have a new user. Someone is tuning in from the Isle of Wight. So please log into the StreamYard link. So when you got this notification, at the bottom of that, there's a StreamYard link. Click on that if you're new, so that we can see your name and your face. Just using Raj as the example, because that was the first one that I saw, so that we can see your name and your face. I don't know who this is. I've just found my Ugg boots and I've got them on.
I think Gavin needs to show us.
I'm glad I inspired you.
No, we can't. There you go. Oh, my word.
And for any women that have got feet as big as me, well played.
Huh? Yeah. Size 40.
Yeah. Aussie size, European size.
Yeah.
So look, here's a left wing one we could do. I told you my friend randomly put 10 G's into Sheeb, and he hadn't done any research, and I couldn't let him just carry on like that. I was like, mate, you got to do some research. Come on, do this sort of thing. And he's taken a bit of a hammering, he's taken a bit of a beating, but now he's done some research, he's gone away and done some homework, which is good. And it's obviously he had to lose some money to kind of get that. Guys, something else from Shiba Inu. So you must be one of the guys that have got some money that you're hoping for the turnaround. Obviously the Shiba Inu crew, they're like, no, it's going to come back. They're going to come back. They're getting into NFTs. They're getting into games. I hope for your sake that they are, because they might actually have something of value. Should we do something a bit left wing and do a Shiba breakdown?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's do Ethereum.
Cool. I'm happy with that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do a vote. Should we do a
That's
vote?
a good idea. Yeah. Well, we'll do a vote with the.
I've got absolutely zero interest in Shiba, but this is for the people.
You're pretty selfish like that. You are pretty selfish.
No, I'm saying it's for the people. So if the majority, so guys, you've got 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm doing Ethereum.
If we get over 10 thumbs or 10 hearts,
Ethereum,
that means you want to see Shiba. So let's just be clear. If we get over 10 hearts or thumbs, that means you want to see Sheeb. If you don't, then we're going to do ETH.
Dun, dun, dun.
Looks like people are sick of Sheeb too.
Yeah.
David Wood in the house. Good to have you with us. Hiya, I'm a new trader, and the guy that lost his shirt sounds like me. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. But look, at least you're here now, and you're starting to hopefully pick up a few more things. And just stick around long enough, and it looks like that's either the Joker from Batman emoji, or that's just a laughing emoji that I've never seen before. But it seems like you're able to laugh about it, David. So look, we've all made mistakes. Everybody has. So you're in the right place to try and rectify that. So just stick in there, mate. And yeah, if you can pay attention, then 2022 could be a very good year for you, my friend. Right. People are saying ETH.
Yes.
Let's do it, Mr. Demi.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
Excellent. Good choice, guys. See, we have a good serious group here. Okie dokie. Now, I actually haven't analysed ETH, but I was actually saying that this morning. I haven't analysed ETH for so long. I've just been so focused on Bitcoin that it's going to be interesting. And we can actually do, let's see if we've got time before I say anything. So
just before you go any further, the last time we did this, actually, we were both on the understanding, and especially from you, was that we think ETH is going to be higher than Bitcoin not higher than Bitcoin. It was going to have a bigger growth, but a bigger move by the end of the year. So let's see if you're still of that opinion by the end of this little breakdown, just to make it interesting.
Yes. So let me just do something very quickly.
Also, whilst you're doing that, big shout out to Wandulu. I'm terrible with names, pronouncing them. Hopefully I didn't do that too badly. Hi from Uganda. Great to have you with us.
All right. So guys, I'm starting this from scratch. I'm just going to keep this analysis simple. Just put in our main sort of trend lines and things, and we'll plan this out. Okay, so that's kind of the that's roughly what we are currently trending at. Let's see what's going on here. So one of the things that I always look for is the fibs as well, see where we are, any patterns. Let's have a little look and see what's happening here. Okay. So I like to see how the market generally, so that's quite a nice line right there. That's a nice line. See that's kind of stayed consistent as support. So that's a really nice level if we do have another dip. Let's put that in. What's it not letting me change the, make it a different color just to differentiate it. Okay, and so we've got that. And let's see if there's anything else here. Not really that interesting, so it's that way. So a bit of a reactive level. I'm going to just quickly see where our market angle is. Okay, so we just like to have a look. That's kind of a nice area where the market likes to react. And we'll put that there. And that's kind of where we are right now. If we look at the volume, what we want to see is we want to see this pick up now. We are got to remember we are sort of, just over halfway through the day. The volume has already happened. We've already got the same volume as we did the last 2-3 days. So if this continues, we could have a big volume day on a breakout here. I quite like. This is going to be quite interesting as well because we've got this big bearish bar there, big volume, and it looks like we're just taking that out. So if we have a nice strong close and we close above this diagonal line, that's a good sign for Ethereum. If on the other hand we hold here, then for me, I think that the level that we're going to be looking to get in on is a pullback to possibly here, where we've got this kind of cross. And what we will do is we'll also plan for that, just like we were doing with Bitcoin. And we'll put in our fibs, even just on a daily time frame. It can be useful. It's probably going to be more useful on a 4-hour time frame, but let's just have a look to see if there's anything interesting here to look out for. So right now we are here, so that's quite interesting. I mean, we've got, anywhere kind of in the yellow orange zone here basically means that we would expect the market to come back to this little zone here. And what's interesting about that, guys, is that we have a really nice level here as well. If you have a look at this, resistance becomes support. So if you're looking for value, if we're going to get a much deeper pullback, this is the point that I would be interested in, around that sort of 3,500–36,000. Okay, so that's the value play. If there's a deeper pullback. So if Bitcoin goes down to 48, Ethereum might go down to here. If we close bullishly and the volume picks up, I now think then we are going higher. Okay, we're ready to move higher. So right now we are testing that. Okay, we're testing that area. This is going to be key here, guys. Look at the little cluster of price action here. This is a very, very important level. Really, really, this is decision time. It's really, really key here. Mark that down on your charts, 48,600, and have a look to see if we close above it. If we close above it and volume continues at this rate and we're kind of somewhere up here, that's a really good sign. So what you could, if you're not in this, what you could be looking to do is simply looking to possibly buy back here. So you can stick a little limit in somewhere here, and then you're playing a breakout essentially that this is going to go higher. To help us, we can also stick in our Fibonacci, and that's going to give us some potential price predictions up. So we'll do that now. So let me clean this up a little bit, get rid of that. Right now, we have an A, B, C. That's kind of pointing to this region here as the first target. Given that we have a 200 here, I think that could be your kind of first target, first resistance point. Obviously, we didn't. It's 5,000. There's going to be a reaction there. So this is going to be, so it's potentially you've got a move up to there. And if that happens, then it's probably, we're looking at something like that. Okay, so maybe a small pullback, maybe even just go back and test these highs and then up. And that could be the rest of December. So really critical right now. I think if we do pull back, if we hold here and we end up high testing, we could push back down to here. And this could be your kind of, and when I say here, it can also spike, take stocks out as it does, scare people out. Oh my word, we're going lower, all my money's gone. And then, of course, the market reverses. We've seen this game multiple times. I'm sure you've seen it as well. Don't fall for the trap. So, yeah, and the way you're not going to fall for that trap is don't over leverage, don't risk money you can't afford. Be sensible with your risk management, and you won't fall victim to that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I see. I think, look, when you're breaking out, 5,000 should be a reaction, and then we'll see how it kind of acts there. If it kind of just consolidates and just holds, I think we'll break higher, and so I think we'll potentially, if we do, let me give you the next swing. If we do this, so let's say we get to 5,000 and some change. This is our new fib cycle. That you can't see it there, but look at that, right? The 38 is exactly where that resistance point is. So you could be looking at literally a move up, pull back to this 38, and then the next move up is basically here. Okay, and then the overextension is there. So I'd be saying from here, you'd be looking at maybe 6,000, and that could be your kind of end of year, where we end up by the end of the year. That's, I think, is definitely plausible. You could even probably, you'll see there's a bit of resistance there. And then if you want to use this is probably a better line to use because this is a proven reactive line. So I would be kind of saying somewhere like there. So maybe just keep an eye on the top of this channel. That's an interesting one there, the yellow line as well. The market does often like to stop when you've got two fibs together like that. That's kind of saying maybe 5-4, and it takes you to the channel as well. So let me get rid of all these lines. I know there's a lot of noise here, guys. Just go back and rewatch it. And yeah, that becomes possibly the so it could stop there on this pullback and then retrace and then go higher. But yeah, there's a few different things here. Right now, just to keep your life simple, look for the close, look for the volume. Do we high test? Do we hold and close above? If we close above, look to buy up to about 5K and then wait for the pullback to get in again for a move higher. That's kind of it in a nutshell. Right now, it's looking good, but things can change very quickly in the market.
Awesome. Mr. Brown on YouTube, good to have you with us. Should we be investing more at this point?
Good question. Well, firstly, as you know, I can't give you personal investment advice, but what I will say is you don't really, in general, want to be buying at resistance. What you want to be doing ideally is buying when the market pulls back. Now, if you are, let's say you're in a position where you're not in this trade or you're not in this investment and you want to be, if you're buying for the long term, look, I guess you could argue that, look, if Ethereum ends up at whatever we think it's going to go to, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, does it matter if you buy now and then the market pulls back? Not in theory, you still make money, but you're buying at a high point with no confirmation. That's the problem. Now, if the market closes above with good volume and then you buy here, at least you could say, well, look, the market has confirmed that resistance is broken. And therefore, I think we're immediately going up higher. Personally, I would be more looking at a trade there rather than investing. But as part of an investment strategy, I would be thinking more along the lines of, let me just accumulate over time, bit by bit. You could even dollar cost average. So you could buy a little bit here. If it drops, you could buy a little bit more. Don't put all your money into it. But for me, I would be saying if that closes above, pull back here, I'll trade it. I'll trade it and I'll trade it, maybe up to 5,000 and get out. But I have already got my investment in Ethereum. I've been buying at much, much lower prices. So I'm kind of set with this position. I'm not really looking to add. But if I was going to add, personally, I would be adding down here, not here.
Cool. So that's pretty good advice. Good question, Mr. Brown. Anything you want to say or add before we bounce?
No, I mean, if people have not got any questions, did that make sense? I mean, I know there's a lot.
He says thanks.
No worries. Just let us know, guys, in the comments. Did it make sense to you? Do you understand? Because the most important thing is that it's not about just making a prediction. It's because what we're essentially doing as technical analysts is that we are building a picture whereby we want to know which side of the fence we need to be on right now. And it's got to make sense to get into something. So, yeah, if you buy Ethereum now, unless you have something specific, a specific signal. So, for example, here we're studying the daily chart. Now, if you know how to do this, what you can do is you could take this and go onto the 4-hour time frame. And you could do a very similar analysis, and you can say, well, the 4-hour time frame has confirmed what Andy was saying. The daily has not, because it's not the end of the day, but the 4-hour has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in early because I think we've broken out. That's okay to do. But obviously the daily chart is going to tell you the full picture. So by the end of the day, you're going to see this bar, and it's either going to be a nice closing bar, ideally kind of, maybe around here, 4,700 would be good. And then you can say, well, look, we've broken out, we've reversed all of this, I'll buy on the pullback, or you'll get in and put a tight stop. You're playing a momentum play. But you could do this work on a 4-hour time frame or an hourly time frame as we teach, and get in a bit earlier if you've got enough confirmation.
Another knowledge bomb dropped. Raj saying made perfect sense. So I think that's it for today's show. Do you want to say goodbye before we leave?
I think that would be nice.
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho, everybody.
Cheerio.
I hope you enjoyed our analysis. Thank you for being here. We would like to have more likes and love, but that's okay. Whatever
Tough
you
crowd
can
today.
give, we're happy to accept.
Tough crowd.
They are.
Thank you very much for being here.
Value, I'm happy.
They are. Gary's here. Gary's happy. We're happy.
Thanks. That's how they say it in Liverpool.
Awesome. All right, guys. Take care. And Mr. Brown's happy as well. Thanks again, Gav and Andy. Slav's happy. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. We love you lots. Have a great day. And toodle pips.